been waiting for this day for a long time, have we not, Sandy Ganz?
We've been trying to track down Joey's shop for like months and months and never could get the spelling of your name right. And finally, I think you had the old card or something that when
No, I talked to Les from Classic Datsun, and he had your phone number. Joey Cavaglieri, by the way. Joey, a great builder, a great fabricator, and we finally run his shop down just in our own backyard, really, which is nice. As a matter of fact, my accountant is down the street, just like 100 yards, Tony. So one day when you do a car for me, it'll be very easy to transport the cash.
The sacks of...
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, Tony, Joey needs another sack.
Burlap bag of cash.
So this is, it's amazing. It is beautiful, and I can't wait to get started on getting into these cars. One of the things we always were talking about was the Scarab, which John Morton had a horrible crash in almost a year ago at the Historics. It'll be a year ago, middle of August, and we always heard you were rebuilding the Scarab. Right. And is that it that I'm looking at now?
Yeah, fortunately, we'd started on the project before the accident.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we had the original frame here and the original nose here.
Mm-hmm. It was a freakish accident where John Morton was upside down and in the air in this car.
We would have seen it if we weren't drinking beer in the hospitality.
We're always in the Mazda. I was helping myself to some ambrosia salad at the time.
And we're looking, hey man, isn't more upside down there? Yeah.
Well, it was kind of funny when somebody said to me, because I went and did a vintage race there a couple of days ago, and we were driving over there, and someone said, "Do you know the track?" And I said, "Oh, well, I know the straightaway, but I'm usually drunk." And he said, "That's all you know about the track?" And then a guy next to me had been playing Gran Turismo, and he goes, "I know the track. I've been playing on my video game for a long time." And I realized the guy who played the video games knew the track much. He'd never been there. He just knew the track much better. And I'd been there 12 times, but I'd never seen anything past the Mazda straightaway. Once in a while, we will venture over to the guy who's wearing the ski goggles and Jofa mask, who's smoking the brisket.
Yeah.
And we'll see that part of the track as well.
Yeah, not very much though.
It's usually food, clouded. It's meat or beer oriented. So someone will say, "Have you been up to the Corkscrew?" And I go, "Is there beer up there?" And they go, "No." And I go, "All right, I'm not going up there.
It's too far to walk."
Too far to walk. So he had this right at sort of the top of the straightaway.
At the end of the straightaway, and somebody tangled him up. And
yeah, what had happened is they were... typically, he would have started at the front of the pack. This car would have been fast enough in that group. And because they had some trouble in qualifying, he started at the back. And the guy that was leading the race broke a little bit early going into turn one. The car behind him had to slam on his brakes to avoid him. He spun. The guy behind him hit the wall, ricocheted off, and clipped John as John was going by.
It was freakish, and it was a kind of accident that this is a bodied car, right? This
aluminum bodied car.
But not an open wheel car.
Not an open wheel car.
That kind of accident is an open wheel type accident when someone runs up another guy and flips him. You don't see full bodied cars just getting flipped up in the air like you see, I mean, in the vintage sport.
You're absolutely right. From that standpoint, it was unusual that the way the car that ricocheted off the wall clipped John was enough to put this car in a roll. It was actually a barrel roll is what happened.
So you, by the way, as I was getting fitted for my first Hans device, Les from Classic Datsun said, if John had been wearing a Hans device, he'd be dead. And I thought, all right, well, hold on, let me finish fitting this. Okay, thanks, Les.
Let's bring the good news.
Yeah, I'm like, thanks, buddy. So should I wear it or shouldn't I wear it? Right. But evidently, John
curled up in a ball.
Tucked in.
You know, that was another part of the freakish part of the accident was by rights, he shouldn't have made it through it. The roll bar collapsed, but it collapsed forward, and luckily...
Pushed him down? Or?
Luckily, his head went in between the loop as the car was upside down. And he feels like the fact that he was able to duck helped. But he thought he had broken his neck. He ended up upside down, fluids were leaking, he couldn't get out. They had to tear the door off to drag him out.
Yeah. I know. And everyone's such a car nut. They're like, did you hear about John?
Watch out for the car. Don't do it.
Right, for John. And then they take a beat and they go, that scarab. Oh, man. Like, hey, people can be replaced, but it's only one of these.
This is the original frame, so it's not the frame that was in the accident. The original frame was in a really bad accident years ago at Elkhart Lake. And when Miles Collier bought it, he took it to Dick Troutman, who had built the Scarabs originally. And it was a judgment call made that instead of repairing that original frame because of the damage, to build a new one. They did cut off pickup points and brackets off of that original frame, put it on the new frame, which when Miles wanted to do this, his point was, we want to save every bit of the original frame that we can, and we're going to cut those pieces back off that frame that John was racing, which we did after the wreck.
Did he have a lot on the blueprints or the drawings left from this? Or?
We did. There were some original blueprints, and not complete. Derek took those and put them on the computer, and we measured off the original frame and the frame that was built, and then we've even gone back to see Augie Papp's car. So between all of that information,
got enough to fill the blanks.
Yeah.
Is there one of these on the planet?
There's one coming here tomorrow, Augie Papp's. There's actually 3 of these sports cars built.
Man,
This
what
is
the hell? Why
third.
don't we come here tomorrow?
Move.
You idiot.
You're out of town.
Is it? Oh, I am.
You're working all day tomorrow.
Oh, it sucks. All right. I'm wearing makeup now. I don't think I normally look this good. I did some chick talk show this morning. All right, so wait. So there's another Scarab coming here tomorrow?
There's one coming here tomorrow because we need more information.
We already went through it. Yeah. Oh, you need more. You need
More
to
information
study.
that we don't have. Yeah, more information, mainly on the body part of the project.
So now, obviously, that's aluminum, and you're busting out an English wheel and just going full fabrication on that.
Yeah, we. I don't know how much we'll use the wheel in it. It wasn't originally done on the wheel. Not that we couldn't use it, but it was done on a power hammer. They were shaped at a place called California Metal Shaping. I
love the intake. The roll bar not looking terribly substantial.
Yeah.
That's the original roll bar. They put the one that John raced with, and what this will also have is one that's taller. That one lives inside the tail section.
And there's a generator. It looks like it's run off the drive shaft. And so when it comes to vintage, it's completely authentic as far as you guys. I mean, obviously that's an old style generator. It looks to me like an old style generator, not an alternator.
Well, what's interesting is the way the car was being raised when John raced it and the way the other Scarabs are being raised, people have deviated to be more competitive. And Miles, part of what this restoration is about, at the expense of being the most competitive Scarab, he wants everything as original, back to the day, period of time we're going to pick.
And how do you feel, because I had Dan Neal, the guy who claims to write for the Wall Street Journal, give me a little crap for one of my cars, because people love to tell you, they love to do that devil's advocate stuff where they go, I was telling about my BRE car, well, is it really the original? Well, because once you change the fenders and once you start changing these panels and you start changing rear ends and stuff, what is it now? Is it the original? You have a serial number? Is that the original? And I just said, look, as long as another guy doesn't show up at the track going, hey, wait a minute, I got then I got the only one. Then I do have the original until... That's really the big dispute. It's not so much the cars, of course, you're going to make a whole new body for this car, and then some asswipe at a party is going to go, yes, it's the original body? No. Well, then why is it called because there's not another one with this serial number on it. Those
are the guys that like to rain in your parade. So
screw them. Now, this is an interesting piece. It's a 550?
This is a 550A, built in 1957.
Wow.
This car won Sebring in 1958, won its class.
I mean, this thing looks like it was found somewhere.
It was a great shot of it on a VW transporter with a cover over it, and you can tell in the silhouette that it's a Spider underneath, but you can't tell, that it's a 550A or what it was. And it sat like that in a backyard for years. And it's one of very few 550As that is, in fact, 100% original. and not crashed.
Except for the cabinet hood hinges.
No, those are actually authentic. Yeah.
I'm surprised, even at a track that seems like a decent size. I was just looking up some of the times for the big Trans Am cars. You know, the Boss Mustangs and the Camaros and all that kind of stuff, Javelins, all that, and then the 2.5 liter and under Trans Am stuff, the 510s and the Alphas and all that. And the lap times on a 2.3 mile track are essentially the same. The big V8 stuff's a breath faster, but not you know, not a second a lap or 2 seconds a lap.
It's a pretty curvy track too.
It's because you add up the time in the corners, and it's more than the time on the straight.
Yeah, it's surprising that something like this, that at the time was making 165 horsepower, maybe.
Yeah.
What did this rolling rate, wet race day weigh?
About 1,200 pounds. Yeah. A little over 1,200 pounds.
Yeah,
so really light.
Right.
And that's huge advantage.
And everyone is like, yeah, well, what do we got for a roll bar? Oh, we got a bread box.
Made out of aluminum.
It should protect that leather helmet just fine. Another 558. These things are a dime a dozen. I'll give you $1,500 for this right now, cash on the barrelhead. So this is what that is going to look like.
Well, except this is more of a rebody than that one will be able to save more original aluminum. This one, unfortunately, the body had been removed years ago. And
a lot of the frame you've redone or salvaged?
Yes, the frame's been...
So, I mean, it's pretty important to you and the client to go, look, I could go down the street to Industrial Metal Supply and get some of this medium wall tubing, but on the other hand, spend some extra time and fix that gusset and fix that tube so I run as much of the DNA of the original car in the restoration process. Or am I putting words in?
No. It's pretty much the mandate from all of the collectors that they retain as much original ingredients all the way through, and mechanical components, tube frame and aluminum body.
I just love this fabrication and welding aluminum and just literally, like, you take a look at a door. If we could travel over here, this just looks like it was just made completely fabricated by
completely new, and with all the methods that were done originally when Porsche did it. This inner door box was made in one piece by Porsche. We could make it in less time if we made it in a number of pieces, and that's the way you would do it if you were building something here in the States today. But for it to be accurate and to have all the hammer marks that they had in making it, we go to those lengths to try to anything we do have to replicate. We try to make it be as close example as what the original was.
How long, for example, would that?
How many hours in this door?
I'm looking at this stuff. It's artistically fantastic. I don't know. I mean, it's not like you can punch it in a CNC machine and say, "Cut me a block of aluminum into the shape of a door."
No.
This is human.
It's all hand.
It's artistic. I think a lot of people lose that.
He doesn't want to say on air because he charges Seinfeld a little more than the hours he actually quits.
Seinfeld.
Well, here's another thing too. I'm telling you, Joey, you should get paid for sitting at home and thinking about how to build this door. Like lawyers, when they're golfing, they're like, I was thinking about your case somewhere. I was on the 17th green. I was lining up a putt, and I thought for 15 minutes about you. That's $100. That's how you should. When you're sitting home on the weekends thinking about the door, that's going into it. So how many man hours into this door would you say?
If you included the man hours for the tooling before we even start on it, there could be easily 100 hours in this door, in this one door.
Wow. All right.
Easy now, easy.
All right. That is nice. And your guys who work here, obviously, they're into this stuff.
Yeah, I'm really fortunate. I have great guys with great background.
You're fortunate? I'd say they're fortunate.
Well, it's a two-way street, but no.
But if they ever wanted a raise, you can go, have fun working on the Daihatsu Charade and the one-day paint and auto body place down in Van Nuys. Okay, buddy?
Take your hammers and go.
Take your hammer and beanbag and get out of here.
So this is the wreck you were talking about with John Morton at Laguna Seca last August. This is the tail that came through that wreck. And we've already this one fender was pushed in. We've already roughed out the shape. We're waiting to get Augie Papp's scarab in to create a buck to do what we need to do to straighten it out.
So this is
the
the
rest
rear.
Of the way.
I love the taillights. I wonder what parts bin taillights.
You know, it's interesting. That had
used.
550 Spider 550 taillights.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess you're pretty familiar with those, huh?
Yeah, that's why I was able to identify. This is the original scarab nose that was wrecked by Jerry Hansen at Elkhart Lake in the late 50s.
And you.
And somebody along the way, it actually was back racing within a couple of weeks, but you can see the the way they were back racing was something that was done very quick. Looks like absolutely looks like a Frankenstein.
Looks like I have a Sunbeam Tiger that has welding like that. Well, I'll take it back. It's not as nice as that, but it looks like that. Like,
so you bondoed up and painted, and they were back on the track. Our goal is to take every inch of this that's original and straighten it, correct it for shape, and put it back with the original frame.
What are these scarabs going for, neighborhood price-wise?
Neighborhood of $5 million.
$5 million.
Yeah.
That looks like a fuel tank from a 5.
No, that's actually the Scarab fuel tank, and somewhere along its history, they fiberglass before fuel cells came in. They fiberglassed the outside of it for a safety measure.
Wow, that is getting every ounce of fuel into the shape they were given.
Yeah, because the tail mirrors that shape.
Sure, and I notice you have a lot of vintage tires up here too. Now, do you just go through Coker, or is it hard to find some of these things? Do you have stuff made for some of these cars?
This is actually a set of that's currently being made by Dunlop, but more important are the other tires that are sitting here that are like hen's teeth. They're old stock, even new old stock. I have a set of new old stock tires for 550-03 that we're going to use, and then some good used ones, which again, if you can find them.
And this is
the tail off of the rebodied 550 that I showed you downstairs.
I never noticed the hinged part of they flap it open, get to the
that big access door is unique to the 550A. The RSK's was a lot smaller door. The original idea was access to the oil tank on an RSK and the voltage regulator. On this, the door being so big, they can actually get to the carburetor, even take them off. This is the tail section off of 550-03, so the third prototype Spider.
So now we have the 550-01, 550-03, 550 Porsche's bringing out 04?
04.
So then where's 02?
2, nobody's found, kind of like the James Dean car. Disappeared in Guadalajara, and people have looked for it.
What?
Connected to a donkey car
That's not the
with a
Mexico I
zebra.
know.
Yeah, could have turned into anything.
Wow.
Probably scrap.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
Wow. Oh, some guy put that thing in a sand rail. Like put that engine in a VW stage. Probably driving Baja with that thing in '69.
Right.
Joey, this has been a treat. I really.
Thank you.
I love the fantastic workmanship because, you look at stuff today and it's like the machine did it.
Yeah.
And this is all guys with their fantastic craft. And there's a few guys that do this stuff, but it's neat to see it raw stage instead of the done product. Because you kind of lose how hard you probably had to work to do it. Hey, look, man, it's done.
Remember when the guy from the Ding Doctor came over and took that crease out of my Porsche fender? Yeah. I was blown away by that.
So you're easily impressed.
Well, first I was pissed off because how do I get a huge dent in my car when it's parked in my warehouse? And everyone else looked at me and went, I don't know. And it wasn't me, boss. Pull the cover off. There's a big crease in it. Somebody's kid's getting it. The point is the Ding Doctor rubbed it out. And I was like, oh, man, you're a magician.
Like magic, yeah.
But second only to the Ding Doctor, Joey Cavaglieri. I mean, that guy does great work. I mean, well, the thing is, he comes to you.
Well, he's got also look. There's no paint on Joey's products.
Yeah, that's right. He does that stuff without shipping any of the paint.
So a lot more magic involved.
And like I said, you don't go out to Seinfeld's house and rebuild his 550. You have to sneak it into your place. That's a home court thing. But either way, Joey, this is unbelievable.
Fantastic stuff.
I'm so glad we finally got a chance to do it. We'd like to come back and see you when you get anything else going.
Welcome back anytime.
And we'll for sure see you over at the Historics.
Terrific.
And I'll be driving that BRE Roadster. That,
Look forward to seeing that.
You claim to like.
Bring back a lot of
A lot of
memories.
people turn the nose up at that Roadster.
A lot of people don't even know
They
about
go like, huh? Datsun made a Roadster? And then I like when they pause. You know what some guy said to me? He goes, I like when they know it's not that car. Like they go, the Roadster, what is that, the 510? No, it's the Roadster. Like, what do you think it is? The refrigerator. What's that, the microwave?
I'm going to go back, My Fair Lady,
Yeah.
you know,
It's a Roadster. So is it convertible 510?
yeah, the old...
It's a pretty popular car. I feel like people
I always
should
remember
know.
because it's the Fair Lady.
And
Yeah.
in race trim, a cool
they're
car.
great looking cars.
Yeah. All right, Joey. Well, you can come marvel at one of my pieces of machinery.
I would take you up on that.
At Laguna Seca. Thank you so
Sure,
much.
thank
And,
you. It was a
thank you for
real
listening to
pleasure.
the shop.
having
Hold
you
on. I feel like we should give a plug out. Anyone out there with a wrecked 550 or Scarab?
Or wait a minute, maybe we can use this to find Porsche number 2.
Anyone knows what Porsche number 2 is?
550 number 2.
If he has to slum it, he might do a Cobra if he's like you get him drunk enough.
Yeah, let's not taint the shop with that stuff.
Okay. The point is if you have a 550 or a Scarab, or
This is the place.
This is the place. Come on down. Phone's gonna ring off the hook now.
Yeah.
Too.